Virginia may seem like a small place, but from this modest home base, a scrappy native has done something big, going after an abusive debt collector that was hounding her and people nationwide and winning the biggest judgment ever against a collector.
I'm a mom and I'm a housewife and I'm an accidental activist.
The court ordered the debt collection company to pay Diana May a staggering $10,086,000, but to date they have not paid her.
But you have to follow the law because if you don't, there are going to be people out there that are going to stand up against you.
But as you will see, getting justice is never that easy. So let's start at the beginning. That would be 3 years ago, when a debt collector from a company called RFA left a message implying Diana's house was in jeopardy if she didn't pay a debt.
Call in regards to a preliminary asset liability investigation. They are in the process of serving some court documents. They have some information now pending questions at the property.
And it wasn't even our debt.
You're required to contact 866.
Diana wrote RFA a cease and desist letter, but a few days later she received another call, and this one looked like it was from her county government, specifically the sheriff's office.
Hello?
Yes, I'm trying to reach Diana.
Yeah, this is Diana. Who?
Pardon me?
It was a word so vulgar that I was just stunned.
I want to make sure that you let me get that.
I felt violated. But then I realized.
You know what's very interesting? Speak up a little bit clearer because you're on tape.
I immediately hung up and, with shaking hands, I dialed 911 and I said, you need to send somebody over to the sheriff's department, that there's somebody in there that just threatened to sexually assault me.
So you were really scared.
Yes, I was terrified.
What'd you do?
I bolted the door and then I came up here, got my husband's gun out of the dresser and I took it over here. I wanted it close by, so I hung it right on the bed.
Later, she learned the call hadn't come from the sheriff's office at all. The caller ID had been manipulated through a trick called spoofing. Phone records prove the call came from the debt collectors, went through a service that faked the sheriff's number, and then arrived at Diana's house.
He picked the wrong person. He absolutely picked the wrong person.
You see, Diana has fought intrusive calls before. In 1999, she won a class action against a major telemarketer whose salesman wouldn't stop calling people. Diana has recorded her phone calls ever since.
I know that there's a big line to do here.
People who do this kind of stuff shouldn't be in business, shouldn't be associated with anybody in business. These are the kind of people who belong in prison. They calculate the damages.
Diana's attorneys sued for harassment and illegal collection practices. RFA's lawyer failed to show up in court.
I was so frightened.
The judge called RFA's actions malicious, ruled that all of the allegations were true, and awarded that record $10,086,000 judgment. It was shortly afterward that we first caught up with Diana, and she was ready to turn the tables and try to collect from the collectors.
All right, they folded it up. Yep.
In April of last year, we found RFA's Orange County, California offices abandoned. Records show it's just one of several collection companies run by the same people. So we tried other locations. I'm Elizabeth Leamy with ABC News.
You guys
Can I
gotta
ask
be.
somebody about the $10 million judgment against the company? Anybody want to comment?
No.
How about
You guys
you?
gotta be.
You doing the same kind of abusive debt collection tactics here that they were doing in these other offices where they lost the lawsuit?
Thank you very much. Have a good day.
Do they make it a habit of impersonating police officers when they call people?
I'm not gonna say anything.
Next, we went to what we believe is the headquarters of the collection empire. Are you planning on paying the settlement, or is she going to have to send collectors after you? Finally, we tried the company's outside lawyer. Tom? I'm Elizabeth Leamy with ABC News, here to ask about your clients RFA and Global. You didn't show up in court to answer that lawsuit, so we thought you might like to respond now.
Responding now.
Okay. Nearly a year and a half later, that lawyer no longer represents RFA, so we contacted the collector's new attorneys, but they declined to comment.
Hey,
As for Diana, so far she hasn't gotten her money because of a little-known fact. Courts award people judgments, but don't help them collect.
I don't know that I'll ever collect a dime, but if I can get their operation shut down, that would make me very happy.
And then, a few days ago, Diana got some news.
What has happened? Well, the end of July, the Federal Trade Commission went in and shut down all the offices of the debt collector in California.
The government estimates that over 5 years, the companies have made $140 million off of their abusive debt collection tactics. Now the feds have seized their assets in yet another attempt to collect from the collectors. Have you gotten any of the money?
So far, I haven't collected anything, but don't count me out.